Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Holy City Mystic and my name is Tori Brame. Thank you so much for being here and I hope you stick around. So today, last planet. We went through all the planets, guys. It's great. Pluto at the apex of the yod. After this, I'm going to go through, do Eris and Chiron, and then I'm also going to do the nodes and points in the chart and everything, but that's later. So Pluto at the apex of the yod. Whenever Pluto is in anywhere in a birth chart, people tend to freak out because Pluto is not a very comfortable planet. It's all about death, rebirth, and transformation. And a lot of people, they're just like, that sounds uncomfortable. Well, it is uncomfortable. It is very uncomfortable. But you are so grateful when all is said and done because you are in a completely new situation than you ever would have been. So with Pluto at the apex of the yod, if you want to know more about how to find a yod in your birth chart, you can click the link below. I'm going to have linked the video I made on yods, what they are and how to find them. So if Pluto is at the apex of the yod, that means it's at the tip point of the triangle. And that means it is quincunxed to two other points in the chart. Now the quincunx is a very uncomfortable aspect. It requires action. So I like to describe it either as like an irritating sound that you just really need to change, or maybe an itch that you need to scratch, just something that is a very uncomfortable aspect that moves you to change. It's like a drive to change. So even more so with Pluto as the driver to change, just because Pluto is all about change and transformation. So with Pluto at the apex of the yod, there is going to be a consistent theme of transformation in your life. Depending on what house it's in, it's probably going to primarily focus on that house and also in the two quincunx houses at the bases. So wherever Pluto is in your chart, that is the part of your chart that you really get to transform. You get to deep dive. You experience deep loss and tragedy and then wonderful regrowth and regeneration. It's kind of like a forest burning down, and then certain seeds that are only able to actually plant themselves if they were after a fire start springing up. And it's new plants and everything's lush and beautiful because of the richness of the ash. That's kind of what it's like. Not very comfortable to go through, not very comfortable for you to watch somebody that you love go through it either. But that is something that's going to be coming up again and again and again. One thing a lot of people focus on is the tragedy or the trauma of Pluto, and they don't focus as much on the regrowth. I'm gonna link my video below about living on a Pluto line because I feel like this is a beautiful example of the potential of Pluto if you don't focus only on the death and fire and ashes and chaos, everything like that, and you do focus on what comes after. What can bloom bigger than ever. So if you have a child with a Pluto yod in their chart, that child is going to experience probably a lot of psychological change over their lifetime. Pluto is the lord of the underworld, so there is that aspect of going behind the veil, seeing what is underneath the surface. A lot of scorpionic energy there. They're not content with the face value answers. They want to see what's underneath. They want to see the mystery. They want to see the reasons behind everything. Also, there will be a familiarity with darkness and depression. I don't want to say they will have depression because they very well could not, but there will be that familiarity with it where they can empathize deeper and they do know what depression is and they don't pull away from it like a lot of people, where it's like it's very familiar to them. They're very conscientious of all psychological issues because they have that Pluto in a prominent position where it does look under the surface and it does notice things that a lot of people pretend not to notice or just don't notice. The events that can happen over a lifetime with a prominent Pluto in the chart are a lot. Like there's a lot of potential for that to happen. The most important thing is empowering the owner of the chart to look at all the growth, everything that has come from these tragedies. It's very easy to focus on the tragedies. It's very easy to feel like in some way you deserved it or you caused it or something like that. But the most important thing is just to glean the gold. Take the gold from what has come, from what has fallen down, what has burned to the ground. What did you learn from it? What do you have now that you never could have had if all that hadn't happened? I have so much Pluto in my chart, so I love the Pluto energy. I have a lot of experience working with it, and it's like all the best things in my life, the best things in my life that I have. My son, my boyfriend, this YouTube channel, my other YouTube channel, my health, everything like that has all come from one tragedy or another. And without those tragedies, I never would have had any of the things that I hold closest to me now. So it's focusing on that. And when tragedy strikes, taking a step back and not focusing on everything that you're losing, but focusing on how much room there is for new things to come in. Because new things will come in, 100% of the time. They always will. And if you are so focused on what you've lost, you'll miss it. You'll miss seeing what came through. So with this yod, it is an excellent chance for growth, rebirth. There's so much potential in it. If you have a Pluto yod, please let me know how it's going. Let me know lessons that you've learned through it, things that have happened to you, things that Pluto has given you. I would always love to learn more about this, and I hope you guys have a good day. Take care. And woo, we did the planets.